those old boys, those pastors, Paul, Titus, they're so narrow-minded and judgmental and unloving. Our culture's ideas aren't incompatible with Christianity. We need to update our image as Christians, and we need to be inclusive. We need to challenge the rigid, traditional interpretations of the past, just like Jesus did. Do you think that kind of argument would go over today? I think we're hearing that. And Paul wrote this letter to Titus to address the problem. So the theme of the letter, and the crux of Paul's advice to his friends, and the foundation for all the age and gender-specific teaching that would follow is summed up in Titus 2, verse 1. But as for you, teach what accords with sound doctrine. That's what Titus needed to do to counteract the destructive ideas about that the false teachers were presenting. He needed to teach what accorded with sound doctrine. Now, for some of you, doctrine is a slightly intimidating church word, but it simply means teachings. The dictionary defines doctrine as any set of beliefs that is held and taught. Doctrine is what you believe about God, what you believe about the world, what you believe about yourself, what you believe about right and wrong, how to live. That's what doctrine is, and everybody has one. Michael Moore has a doctrine. LGBT groups have a doctrine. White supremacist groups have a doctrine. Greenpeace has a doctrine. CNN has a doctrine. Fox has a doctrine. Your child's school has a doctrine. Everyone who shares an opinion on Facebook or Twitter has a doctrine. Paul argues that for Christians, we just can't have any old doctrine that we want. Not just any old doctrine or set of beliefs or teachings will do. There's a specific one that Christians need to hold on to. It's the set of beliefs that revealed by God through Scripture and through the apostles. That, according to Paul, is the only doctrine that is sound doctrine. The false teachers were pushing a little mishmash of beliefs that had a whole bunch of Christian beliefs, but had brought in different beliefs from culture, and let's put it all together. Paul told Titus, verse 13, rebuke them sharply, that they might be sound in faith. Now that word sound is an important word. It shows up 5 times in 3 short chapters in Titus. It's the Greek word hugiaino, and it's the root from which we get our English word hygiene. Hugiaino means to be healthy or correct or accurate, free from contaminants, infirmity, or disease. Sound doctrine is pure, it's clean, it's healthy, it's free from contaminants. It is good for you. Paul wanted Titus to teach up things that would line up with sound doctrine so that the people in church would be sound in faith, sound in speech, sound in thinking, sound in attitude, that they'd make sound choices. I'm convinced that all of the failures and flaws in our lives flow out of some sort of doctrinal error or deficiency. Wrong thinking leads to wrong living. Right thinking leads to right living. So sound doctrine is a critical foundation for living a godly life. It's the what that leads to the so what. And we see this so clearly in Titus. First, Paul encourages Titus to hold firm to sound doctrine. And then he tells Titus to teach the various groups what type of behaviors line up with sound doctrine. And he provides instruction of what sound doctrine looks like in the lives of the old and the young, and for a man and for a woman. So if you are born with female body parts, Titus 2, 3-5 is pure, healthy teaching based on sound doctrine about how you should live. And that's where the floodwaters hit the fans, isn't it? Because culture's idea about what's important and what's desirable and what's good for women is so very different than what we read in the Bible.